We are only one game away from the halfway point in the Premier League season, and I'll tell you what, safe to say, we are in a title fight. Today, we take on Manchester United. Today, we take on Liverpool. Two massive games, win them. I'm going to say it now, the title is the aim. Let's run the intro and get straight into things. Yes, folks, how is it going? And a warm welcome back. It's episode number 75 of Park to Prem here with Wanderers. And before we get into things today, I want to say a thank you for the explosion in support on the videos. Down in the comments with likes as well. You guys have really been showing some love. Obviously, a bit of a difficult time at the moment, given the fact there's no Football Manager now coming in the immediate future. Had kind of been planning my life around it, but the support you guys have been showing on the series, very much appreciated. And it is helping push the videos into the algorithm. So if you want to keep doing it, I love you big time. Anyway, as I already mentioned, we are at the halfway point in the season following today's first game. It is on Boxing Day, and it's a game at home against Manchester United, followed by a trip to Anfield. Now, in terms of goings-on since last episode, I've played a lot of Football Managers, so we're going to break this down into Champions League and Premier League. And while it is safe to say when you look at our Champions League run of form, we are in a really good spot. In fact, we've already qualified for the quarterfinals, so we don't even need to worry about the last two games, which is probably a relief because the first is against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, and then we have Bayer Leverkusen. In terms of these games, you can see we beat Dynamo Kyiv 6-1. Emphatic result this one. Sean Steele with a couple of goals before half-time made it comfy. Great win against AC Milan, perhaps the most standout of these. Away from home, 4 different goal scorers, 3 strikers on the scoreline. That has definitely been a trend lately. All our attackers are chipping in with some finishes, and while that continued here against Midtjylland, where we won 5-0, again, another high-scoring game, and most recently, not as convincing as some of the previous games, but we did manage to beat Nice. 3-2 in this one, very nearly bottled it. We were 2-0 up at half-time, told the players I was happy. We conceded 2 not long later, but we managed to salvage the win that I think we deserved, and all in all, just another really good team display. So like I already mentioned, we are top of the Champions League group stage, and as indicated by this queue, we have already qualified for the kind of second knockout round. Of course, the top 8 teams skip the first knockout round, and with, well, 2 games to spare that I don't need to worry about, should give me a nice little opportunity to rotate the team a little. As for our Premier League form, it has been maybe a little bit more of a mixed bag. Of course, we ended things last episode with a nice little win against Chelsea, and from there, well, we've lost 1 game, we've drawn a couple, but to be honest, when you look at the teams who dropped points against, nothing really to worry about. 7-0 against Coventry was a great start to things. Sadly, a 1-1 draw against Arsenal felt disappointing. We opened up the goal scoring in this game with a goal via Marcus Sheldon. They got a goal back, but from there, we couldn't really press home an advantage. An advantage which I think was indicated on the stats. Pep Guardiola currently under heat at Arsenal. Of course, champions last year, champions the year before that. Right now, they are down in 9th in the Premier League. They're having an awful season. Kind of feel like we should have won that one. Anyway, following on from that, we did have 2 other tricky games against Newcastle and Arsenal. 2 more draws is a bit annoying. Another 1-1 against Newcastle, and then a 4-4 draw against Aston Villa. This game was a goal-scoring bonanza with, well, 2 late goals for Aston Villa. Yeah, we were 4-2 up in this game with 20 minutes left. I'll be honest, at that point, I thought the game was done. It wasn't done. And well, you might remember once upon a time we had Aaron Ramsey in our team. His brother Jacob still plying his trade for Aston Villa. We gifted them the ball. He put it in the back of the net. They stole a point. 3 draws in a row was a tad bit concerning, and knowing that we had Man City coming up, a win against Brighton was necessary. We managed to get that rather convincingly, but for only the second time this season, we did lose a game, and it came here against Manchester City. Batterina with their second goal, an absolute banger. To be fair, the Oscar Bob finish, not too bad either. They opened up the goal scoring. All the goals came in the first half. Wallace, as of late, has been really, really good out on the left-hand side. Picked up another assist in this one here. Great little ball to Brennan, but right before half-time, just a serious moment of quality. We dealt with the initial corner. I thought, this is fine. Batterina thought, it's not fine. I'm going to score. Went on his lonesome. Great little finish. But of course, we had already identified last episode this was going to be a difficult run of games, and I knew that the next 4 games were games we should be winning. We managed to win them all. 4-0 against Everton, 3-0 against Crystal Palace. You'll notice here the variety in the goal scorer is really nice. Good to get a couple of clean sheets. Scraped a 2-1 win against Hull. Not the most convincing. And most recently, another high-scoring game. 5-2 against Brentford. Chris Barrett back on the score sheet. Had missed a couple of games, but you can see here, he has been playing a lot of football, and when he plays for us, he plays well. This man is our top goal scorer, which, when you consider the nature of the fact we kind of signed him just because money was burning a hole in our pocket, it's worked out quite well. So looking at the Premier League table, we are tied with Manchester United ahead of them on goal difference. Elsewhere, Tottenham hunting us down. As for Liverpool, they're a little further off the pace. They have played a game more too. Kind of expect us to win against them there. You can see in terms of player stats, Chris Barrett leading the way as top goal scorer. He actually has the best average rating in the league. Gavin Wallace, though, not far behind. And Gavin, with 9 assists to his name. Lloyd Weston, with 7 assists to his name as well, and in fact 10 in all competitions for this man. Been playing him a little bit of right back as of late. Now, over the course of the last couple of months, we have had some issues with the injuries, especially in the striking department. A lot of our strikers have missed spells of football, but I suppose the good news is when you look at the top of the kind of goal-scoring charts here, we've got a load of players capable of putting the ball in the back of the nets. Chris Barrett's leading the way. Sean Steele now with 10 goals to his name. Only 3 in the Premier League is maybe a little bit of a concern. His goal stats maybe inflated by the fact he scored against smaller European teams, but the 20-year-old is continuing to improve and looking like a really great player for the future. As you can see here, Andy White recently missed a big old spell of football. Yeah, he did not play in a long old while, and upon his return, he's not exactly hit the ground running. Maybe keep an eye on that. And Marcus Sheldon, who for the last couple of years has been our most consistent striker, I'll be honest, he continues to be rather hit and miss. He's put in a couple of good performances lately. More recently, I have started playing him again as a complete forward like we did last year, but instead of playing him on the left, playing him on the right. Barrett has just been so good on the left-hand side, I can't afford to move him around. In fact, when we look at the injury history here, you can see we've had a lot of minor injuries lately, but there were a couple of moderate ones here, there, and everywhere. Nicky Meredith's missed a spell of football. Andy White, I mentioned, was injured before. Marcus Sheldon got a knock. Brennan got a knock as well. We have really been mixing things up in the final third. I suppose the good news now is everyone is slowly getting back to full fitness. And another man who that kind of applies to is Alfie Dorrington, of course. Major injury to start the season. He is back in rehabilitation. Despite the fact the injury is no longer highlighted as red, he is still expected to be out for 4 to 7 weeks. So don't celebrate yet. He will be back soon, just not quite soon enough. Anyway, in terms of our opposition for the first game, Manchester United at home, I expect us to win this game here. Looking at their kind of squad profile, you can see their media prediction was 4th for this year. Last year, they finished 3rd. The year before that, they finished 4th. They've not been a title challenger in a little while. They are a title challenger now. I'm going to hope we can get one over on them. So in terms of team news for today's game, like I already mentioned, we are kind of at full strength. Lately, I have been dropping Ajaria from the team. Feels a little bit harsh to do this, but Benito Lloyd Weston has just been slightly more productive for us in fewer games. The other man who, of course, is getting all the assists is Gavin Wallace. He has been superb recently. Did miss a small spell through injury himself, but still, 11 assists and 6 goals in 15 games. This guy is averaging over 1 goal contribution per match that he features in. And it's for that reason I can't really afford to drop him. In the final third, we are going with Barrett, White and Sheldon. Like I mentioned, Andy White has not been at his best lately, but he is comfortably our best player on paper. And to be fair, the good news for our squad is when you look at the performances in the last 5 games, everyone is chipping in. We've been rotating the team around with the Champions League, with the Premier League. Obviously, the fact we got knocked out the EFL Cup in a weird way ended up being a blessing in terms of squad kind of fitness and management. But going into this game today, I'm able to pick a full strength team just about, with the exception of Dorrington, and I'm going to hope these players can really step up to the task. It's not going to be easy today. Saying all of that though, we have not lost at our brand new stadium. I want to keep that going today. Okay, early on here, corner. The man's gone short, so we are going to be going for the short corner routine. This is the only routine where we have a player come that short to try and make something happen. A little bit of a routine off the training ground. And well, for a moment, I thought top goal scorer Barrett was going to be the man to put it in the back of the net. Maybe he could still make something happen here. Or maybe he can't. He doesn't know the offside rule. Okay, another corner this time. This one is going to be Andy White over it. I think this is going to be the near post corner. Have had some questions about, Jack, why do you not have Andy White in the box on corners? Sadly, I don't have a good right-footed set-piece taker. Andy White is head and shoulders above the rest, the best. And, well, because we play with 3 centre-backs, we have a fair few players that are good in the air. So I'm willing to have Andy as the better taker, taking the corners, as opposed to being in the middle. I saw people getting annoyed by that and drawing comparisons to Harry Kane for England taking corners. It's not like that. Oh my word, Barrett nearly scored. I'm just waffling away and he's going on for a goal of the season attempt. I mean, 15 minutes into this game, we are having the better of this game. We have got Manchester United with their back against the wall. Benito Lloyd Weston, of course, former Manchester United man. And well, Barrett, has just been denied by the keeper. We could have scored a few already. I mean, so far, Manchester United yet to have a shot on target in this game, yet to have a shot at all in this game. By comparison, we've had 8, 2 on target. We're playing well, and well, now we're going to go for the short routine that works absolute wonders. Ashley Phillips is in the box because he's good in the air. On this occasion, he's tapped it in with his feet. The new set-piece creator comes up clutch, kind of. I wish you could do a lot more creative stuff with the set-piece routine kind of creator that got added in FM24. But you know what? It's worked wonders there. And, well, now we've got another set-piece. Barrett is going to be over it. He has one hell of a shot on him. They could say it's a 50 caliber. That's been tipped over. But there is now another corner. What is happening in this game? I promise we've not just trained set pieces for the last month. We do other forms of trading, but at the moment we're looking threatening from every chance that comes our way. United are all over the place. I mean, we're a goal to the good in this game. We've got another corner here. What are we doing? More corners than the Muller corners in my fridge. On this occasion, sadly, Van der Voort has plucked it out the air for Manchester United. But to be honest, they have looked really, really poor in this game, Man U. They've not created much despite having slightly more of the ball than us. Alex Scott on this occasion is going to get dispossessed. Flood gives it back to Mick Garry. Barrett lays it wide to Henderson. This is nice. This is pretty. Can we keep this build-up play going? Lloyd Weston playing, obviously, on the right-hand side. He is left-footed, but he's got an okay right foot. He can't make something happen, but, well, maybe we can make something happen here because we've been gifted the ball. Barrett has been at the heart of everything we've done today, but he's not put the ball in the back of the net yet. Pavez for Manchester United. Why does this feel like one of those games where we're going to create a turn, be on the front foot, and then they're going to score with their first shot? Mezcuri scores. It's 1-1. Mezcuri unmarked, parting of the seas. Anson came rushing out. I'm not going to blame the goalkeeper there, but it didn't look great, did it, for him? And United are level. We've had a really, really good half here. We've created a lot. XG above 2. Maybe not had enough shots on target, but I don't feel like, at this point, I want to change stuff radically. Of course, if now Manchester United go on to score a second from their second shot on target, maybe then I do have to change things radically. This is a game that really, really matters. A draw wouldn't be disastrous, but at home, I very much want to win a game like this, especially given what we've shown so far in the first 45. But we might need to do some defending. Anson claims it well. Now can we try and get it forward with just 30 seconds left of the half? Mick Garry, another former Manchester United man in our ranks. We've got a few of their scraps, a few of their youngsters that they kind of raised and decided weren't good enough. Maybe they were right in that analysis. They're coming forward here again. Phillips reads it nicely. Mick Garry, Flood, plays it to Barrett. Nicely dropped deep. Ball forward to Andy White. Was he onside? I think he was. It would have counted. Van der Voort makes another stop here. And that chance there was the last of the half. 1-1 at the break. I mean, we've played really, really well. I'm going to tell the players I'm happy, even if the scoreline doesn't really reflect how good we've been. Lloyd Weston on a booking concerns me. I'm going to bring in Ajaria. Mick Garry, I'm going to have to take off too. The former Manchester United players have picked up bookings. I just believe Football Manager could be scripted. And I feel like if I leave them on the pitch, I'm going to be left in tears. Elsewhere, Andy White has struggled again in the game today. I'm going to make a change. Bernard Brennan, I think I'm going to bring in here as my first sub. This guy's good in the air, got a little bit of pace. I feel like I need his physicality. I was thinking about playing Sheldon through the middle. I think actually I'm going to play Brennan through the middle and Sheldon out wide. We've been good in that half. Like I know the scoreline kind of says 1-1. When you look at the overall balance of play, we've been very, very good in this game. Certainly showing that we are the real deal in terms of being able to contend with the best teams in this league. Obviously, scoreline doesn't really reflect that. First half of this second half, by the way, whizzing by already. I feel like I want to make further changes. Sheldon off, Steele on. I have one more sub if I want to make it, but I've just got to save it for now, haven't I? There's a temptation to really go for things in what remains of this game, but, well, given where we're at here, where it's 1-1 and we are dominating and they're not creating a lot, I don't want to risk upsetting the balance of things. A draw is kind of fine. I feel like a draw is worth playing for. If we can go and get a goal, it would be amazing. And just nothing is happening. What kind of contrast is this to the first half? There's part of me that wants to throw players forward here, but I don't think it's worth it. I'm going to make Steele and Barrett pressing forwards on attack instead. Going to bring in Mick Hugh for some fresh legs in the middle and play him at centre mid on attack. But to be honest, this game just feels like it's destined to finish 1-1. Or is it? There's a corner. Barrett whips it in. Phillips is there. Oh my word. Oh my word. Ashley Phillips with another goal. It's a different corner routine. It's worked absolute wonders. And was that because I made tactical changes? I'm going to claim that somehow they played a role. Van der Voort, for all the saves he's made, was left, well, looking like a bit of a schmuck there. I've tried to pause things there to change the tactic. I think a highlight had already begun. Yeah, okay, a highlight had already begun, so the changes wouldn't have taken effect. Imagine if now, having gone more attacking, Manchester United grab another. I might cry. Wallace, don't do it to me, Football Manager. Ball is blocked, falls back to Flood. If we get another, though, we're on the pitch. Steele skips past his man. The 20-year-old is looking great yet again. Squares it. It goes across the face of goal. What is happening? It's in the back of the net. It's the worst goal I've ever seen in Football Manager. My immersion is ruined. My day is made. It's 3-1. It's game over. What is this? You don't see many clangers in the Football Manager match engine like some years previously. That is not Football Manager's finest moment, is it? But do we care? Absolutely not. 3-1 win. Ashley Phillips with 2 goals to his name. Obviously, the sub getting a goal as well. Very, very happy with that. We deserved it on the balance of play. Obviously, we squandered open play opportunities. That is a massive result for us. And elsewhere, did Tottenham? No, Tottenham haven't played. I thought Tottenham had dropped points. That would have been too good, wouldn't it? Right, I need to rest up the players. We're off to Anfield in a few days. I just noticed here, Tottenham actually playing in the late kickoff. The latest score is 1-0 Newcastle. Will they hold on to win? They absolutely will. 2-0 win for Newcastle. Tottenham drop points. We pull clear at the top of the table. This is how it looks at the halfway mark. Wowzer. Now, of course, saying all of that, I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. The season still has a long old time left, and apparently Man City want Andy White. They can't have him. Transfer window is opening in a few days, but before all of that, the small matter of a trip to Anfield. I'm going to get straight to that one. Do not go anywhere. Okay, folks, game number 2, away trip to Anfield. Very rarely is this an easy game. To be fair, in this universe, Liverpool have slowed down a little bit over the last couple of years. They finished 8th. They finished 6th. This year, they've been improved. Still not going to be an easy game. They've got Musiala in their ranks. He's quite good, isn't he? Now, in terms of our team news, I'm not changing anything. Yeah, it's the exact same team that played the last game. I felt like we played really well against Manchester United, gave the players a rest. Everyone's fit and ready to go. Liverpool are playing their narrow 4-2-2-2. Do I want to change things? Maybe. In terms of what I am going to change here, we're going to actually look to focus the play in the wider areas and just play that little bit wider. Obviously, we play Liverpool a fair amount over the years. I feel like this is a change I've consistently done against them, and for the most part, it's worked out quite well. What are we doing? What have I just seen? I'll tell you what, today, in this video, we've seen the best and worst of the Football Manager match engine with some absolutely hilarious goals. I mean, this won't be funny if it wasn't going in against me. What just happened? Barrett had the ball, and I think that was meant to be a pass back to Anson, who has not got there and can't get back. Well, you know what? 2 minutes in, I'll readjust in my chair. That's not a good start, is it? Oh my word, now Barrett's got injured. Everything that could go wrong to start today is going wrong. I'm going to bring in Brennan, and I'm going to swap him actually with Sheldon here. I mean, it's not, in terms of starts to this game, I was going to say own goal. It wasn't an own goal, although, let's be honest, it's as bad as an own goal. And then that injury, concerning. Barrett is our top goal scorer. Obviously, I bigged up the start of today's video, didn't I, by talking about the fact we have all these different goal scorers and everyone can turn up with a goal. We need to try and show that in this game here. We've not shown it inside the first half an hour, although there's not been a great deal in the way of opportunities for either team. We've had a lot of possession in this game. Liverpool with just one shot, which we gifted them, and they found the back of the net with. Wallace actually has picked up a knock here. I'm probably going to take him off and play things safe. But, I mean, what a chaotic start to this game here. Flood wins the ball back nicely. Sheldon. Andy White. I don't know if he was onside. He wasn't onside. It wouldn't have counted anyway. But Gavin Wallace is hurt, and I'm going to play things safe. Ajaria on you come. Lloyd Weston to left back. I've already made 2 subs and had to do 2 stoppages in the first half, which isn't exactly ideal. I only get 1 more stoppage in this game. So I might even have to consider more seriously making some changes at the break, because that won't count as one of my 3 stoppages. But what do you say about this game? We're only half an hour into it. It feels like so much has happened, and yet there's been so few highlights. Flood in the middle, playing the ball to Andy White. Onside on this occasion. He plays it wide to Ajaria, who maybe is going to have a point to prove on off the bench. He floats it. Sheldon was under it, didn't get there. Lloyd Weston got a header onto it. And Guzmão, for them, has the ball. I mean, I don't know what our free strikers are doing here. It looks like they want to rob him or something of the ball. I mean, technically, I guess that is what they want to do as pressing forwards. They're all just standing, all trying to stop the goalkeeper giving it short themselves. They've won it well, and oh my word, Sheldon hits the post, gets the rebound in. It looked stupid, didn't it, the free strikers? Now they look like geniuses between them. Guzmão threw it out. Pavlovic then just surrendered possession in a horrific area. Andy White gave it to Sheldon. Yeah, look, the first shot didn't go in, but he made sure it went in at the second time of asking. I'll let him off. Right, Lloyd Weston on the far side with the throw-in, gives it to Flood, played forward again to Andy White. It's 1-1, it's all square. Let's try and break the deadlock in this one. Ball played in, falls to Hatswell. His shot was not far over. Okay, Lloyd Weston on the far side. It was a little bit of a slow start in terms of highlights. Certainly this game has, well, just exploded into life. Ball played to Sheldon. Through the middle it goes. It's played out. Hatswell scores. Is that going to count? I thought Andy White hacked down his man and fouled someone. The ref's not giving it. I'm not going to complain. Corby Hatswell, you beautiful man. Lloyd Weston to Sheldon was played across here. Watch Andy White. He kicks Taylor here. I think the game's decided that was a good tackle. It didn't look good in 3D. I mean, based on the fact that Liverpool have had one shot in this game, and it was the goal that we saw them score that we just gave them, we've been way better in this game. Another goal, I don't even know if that would necessarily flatter us at this point. 13 shots, 6 on target. It has been one-way traffic here. You wouldn't know that we're the away team heading to the fortress that is Anfield. Although maybe at this point it is a fortress in ruin. Liverpool have been struggling over the last few years. I think maybe they thought at one point this year they could be in a title fight. A defeat here probably vanquishes any hopes of that. Gay has the ball for them, gives it back to Pavlovic. Played back forward to Gay here. He steps out. Brennan wins it back superbly. Now Ajaria bringing it forward. Captain Fantastic whips it in. Andy White is there. What a goal it is. They've linked up for so many goals over the years. They've linked up for another one here. The cross in by Ajaria here is stupendous. He takes a touch towards the byline, and I thought it was a bit of a weird angle to then try and cross it from, but he's wrapped his foot around it, and Andy White arrives at the back post inch perfectly to nod it in. 5 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. What a display this has been. Could we keep it going? Could we get 4 goals in one half at Anfield? That would be fun. Ajaria, Flood, back to Flood. Lovely build-up play here. He pulls the trigger. That wasn't great, was it? I'll tell you what was great, though. This first half performance. What a display by the players. Very happy with how it's gone. Please keep it up, lads. Sheldon whips it towards the back post. Players under it. Hits the crossbar. Drops onto the roof of the net. It was offside. It wouldn't have even counted. Liverpool maybe now with a set piece of their own. It's 3-1. I can't afford to get complacent just yet. The ball's whipped in. Anson doesn't get it. There is a rebound. The flag is raised for something. I think he's onside here. I'm not sure what the referee's flagged for. And, well, the pop-up didn't come up saying goal allowed. But I can tell you now, the goal is going to count. Doig taps it in. It's 3-2. As I've already mentioned, I only have 1 stoppage left in this game. I have 3 subs I can make. But if I make a stoppage now and make some subs and then we get an injury, I can't bring anyone on. So I'm going to wait a little here until maybe the last 10-15 minutes to make my final set of changes. Hopefully in that time, before that, we could get a goal. Because if we can get another goal, that will ease my nerves a little. At 3-2, this is a game finely poised and in the balance. And even now, as we pass the ball back to Anson, I get flashbacks to that goal that we conceded at the break of the game. Right, Ajaria bringing it forward, puts it in. Cleared away. Ball given away. Brennan picks it up. Hatswell, the goal scorer. Lloyd Weston into Andy White. What a goal that is. It's 4-2 here. That is stupendous. Mentioned that he dropped off in his form lately. Maybe he hadn't been at his best. This was vintage Andy White. Lloyd Weston picks it up, lays it inside. Andy White shoots. Crossbar, ground, roof of the net. It's just a beautiful sight, isn't it? Okay, there's still 15 minutes left in this game. Maybe I shouldn't get too carried away just yet. The ball is played to Lloyd Weston. He lays it inside to Sheldon, who gets dispossessed. But Lloyd Weston is working hard on this near side to try and seize back possession. Boniface has played the ball in. Victor Boniface scores. It's 4-3. Is this goal going to count? He's running away with the ball to the halfway line. The goal is going to count. I don't know why we're not getting the pop-ups today. VAR, they're just slacking a little bit. Ball was played in. It's 4-3. I'm scared now. Okay, I think it is time to make some changes anyway in this one. Sheldon's played well, but he's been on the pitch a lot and run his race. I'm going to bring in Steele for some fresh legs. Elsewhere in the team, Carl Flood looking a little worse for wear. Kobe Mainu on Newcombe. Hatswell's played well, but I'm going to bring in Mick Hugh as well. I feel like in the centre of the midfield now, I just want some fresh legs. These two guys are going to look to provide it. I mean, Liverpool have had 8 shots. We've had 20. We've definitely been the better team in this game. I feel like the scoreline is closer than perhaps it should be. Credit to Liverpool for their finishing, I suppose. As for ourselves, well, we've conceded 3 goals in this game. We've only got ourselves to blame for the fact that this game is still close. I feel like when you score 4 goals, really, you probably should be winning the game of football. If you score 5 goals, you definitely should be. Brennan has it here, squares it. Andy White scores. It's an 8-goal thriller. I'll tell you what, Bernard Brennan, come on off the bench, hasn't he, today when Barrett got injured? He's looked very, very lively in this one. We moved into the left-hand side. That's turned out to be inspired. He squared it, and Andy White tucks it into the back of the net from inside the 6-yard box. Surely that's just the game now, right? Right, Mick Hugh might have different ideas. Andy White's lurking at the back post. He wants another. Henderson wants one as well. It's 6-3. Well, what is happening today? Came into today's episode expecting a big old test. I think we can say it now. We've passed the test and then some. 5 minutes of added time at the end of this game. What a performance this has been. We're not going to get the 10 goals. It does not matter. 6 goals scored for us in this game. Conceded 3. I'm going to forgive the players. The only thing that could ruin this day is if Barrett has got a serious long-term injury. Yeah, today's games I thought were going to be tricky. We've looked really good in both of them. Bit unfortunate, perhaps. Looks like here... Did Manchester United play? Have Manchester United played? I think they may have played... oh, no. Manchester United won 5-0. Tottenham won 3-0. Yeah, that is unfortunate. It would have been nice if they could have dropped some points there. Okay, in terms of the Barrett injury, 3 to 4 weeks. That is not ideal. Gavin Wallace, 4 to 7 days. That is slightly better. Andy White, hat-trick in that game. I didn't even clock the fact that he'd already got a hat-trick. What a performance that is by him. Talked about his lack of goals lately. That's not a bad way to reply and respond, is it? Now, in terms of the upcoming plans for whatever the next video is going to be, of course, we have got the Champions League knockout round at some point to worry about, but we've still got group stage games in January, so that's going to be a little way away. Looking further ahead, it might be that we come back in March time, maybe a little sooner if something big and spicy shows up. Of course, we are in the FA Cup, which I've got hidden as well here. First round against Leicester. I'd like to think we can win that one. 2 absolutely massive results to cap off today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed them both. If you did, go down below, leave a like, feed the algorithm. We're back next time with more. And until then, it's me, Jack. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.